Another significant aspect is its impact on conflict zones. In times of war, the Jubilee can serve as an inspiration for peace negotiations and national reconciliation. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad that you are here. Did you know that 2025 will be a very special year for the church and society? It is the year of Jubilee, a celebration full of spiritual and social significance. But what exactly is the Jubilee, and how can it impact the world around us? Stay with me, because today we'll explore the biblical roots of this tradition in the book of Leviticus, understand its current meaning, and discover what we can expect from the church and society in this remarkable year. Before we begin, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to receive more content that deepens your faith and divine curiosity. Share this video with anyone who would like to know how the Jubilee impacts the world. What is the Jubilee? To understand the Jubilee, we must return to the Old Testament, specifically to the book of Leviticus, chapter 25. The Jubilee was a special year instituted by God for the people of Israel. It occurred after 7 cycles of 7 years, that is, every 50 years. During this period, 3 fundamental principles were practiced: forgiveness, freedom, and restoration. In the book of Leviticus, God speaks directly to Moses about the laws of the Jubilee. He commands, "Consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. Each of you is to return to your family property and to your own clan." Leviticus 25 verse 10. This meant that lands sold out of necessity were to be returned to their original owners, and those who had become servants due to debt were to be freed. Another crucial element of the Jubilee was the rest for the land. God instructed the people not to sow or reap what the land produced spontaneously during the Jubilee, trusting completely in His provision. "I will send you such a blessing in the 6th year that the land will yield enough for 3 years." Leviticus 25 verse 21. This act of faith reinforced Israel's dependence on divine providence and reminded them that the land, like everything else, belonged to the Lord. The concept was simple but revolutionary. All debts were canceled, and those who had lost their lands due to financial hardship regained them. Those enslaved or serving due to debt were freed, and the land was left uncultivated, reinforcing the people's reliance on God's provision. It was a time to start anew, a period of spiritual and social restoration. More than an economic or social event, the Jubilee held profound spiritual meaning. It symbolized God's mercy and justice, reminding the people that everything belongs to Him. It was an invitation to trust in divine sovereignty and live according to the values of God's kingdom. The sound of the trumpet on the Day of Atonement marked the beginning of the Jubilee, highlighting its connection to the forgiveness of sins and reconciliation with God. Biblical example: a practical example of how the Jubilee transformed lives can be seen in how it restored dignity to those who had been marginalized. Imagine being a farmer who lost your land due to drought or overwhelming debt. In the Jubilee, your land would be returned, allowing you to start over, free from the burden of servitude or despair. Connection with Jesus: the Jubilee also points to the ministry of Jesus. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus proclaims, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Luke 4 verses 18 to 19. This declaration connects the Jubilee with Jesus' mission as the ultimate fulfillment of the promised freedom and restoration. The Jubilee in the Church in 2025. 2025 will be the year of Jubilee for the Catholic Church, a significant moment for millions of faithful worldwide. The tradition of the Jubilee in the Church began in the year 1300, when Pope Boniface VIII instituted the first Holy Year. Inspired by the biblical Jubilee, this period is marked by indulgences, pilgrimages, and a special invitation to repentance and spiritual renewal. During the Jubilee year, the faithful are called to pass through the holy doors, located in basilicas such as St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. These doors, opened only in holy years, symbolize entry into a new life with God. Additionally, plenary indulgences are granted to those who participate sincerely, confess their sins, receive the Eucharist, and pray for the Pope and his intentions. The Church also emphasizes acts of mercy during the Jubilee. Helping those in need, forgiving offenses, and practicing charity are concrete ways to live the values of this special year. Pilgrimages to sacred sites and participation in global events promote a sense of unity among the faithful, while special masses and moments of reflection offer opportunities to renew faith and strengthen communion with God. 2025 will be a unique opportunity to rediscover God's mercy, seek reconciliation, and renew commitments to the Christian faith. The Church invites everyone to live this moment with intensity, reflecting divine love and justice in their lives. Social impact of the Jubilee. The Jubilee, although it has religious origins, carries an impressive social relevance. It challenges us to imagine a world where forgiveness, equality, and restoration become daily realities. At a time when social inequalities and divisions seem to be growing, the principles of the Jubilee offer us a vision of hope and renewal. The forgiveness of debts, for example, reminds us that everyone deserves a second chance. In modern society, this could translate into public policies that promote economic justice, such as debt relief and opportunities for entrepreneurs facing difficulties to restart. The Jubilee also calls us to act with compassion toward the marginalized. This can be seen in initiatives like welcoming refugees, supporting the homeless, and fighting for social justice. By practicing these values, we reflect God's heart in our actions. Another significant aspect is its impact on conflict zones. In times of war, the Jubilee can serve as an inspiration for peace negotiations and national reconciliation. Governments and world leaders can commit to temporary truces or even demilitarization efforts, following the principles of forgiveness and restoration. The Church and other organizations can act as mediators, promoting dialogue and helping rebuild communities affected by armed conflict. More than an abstract idea, the Jubilee is an invitation to transform how we live and relate to one another. It reminds us that, just as God forgives and restores us, we are called to do the same for those around us. What to expect in 2025? The year of Jubilee in 2025 will be a time for reflection, celebration, and action. The Catholic Church is planning global events, including community gatherings and pilgrimages to sacred places. It will be a unique opportunity to rediscover God's mercy, seek reconciliation, and renew commitments to the Christian faith. Additionally, 2025 will be a call to practical action. Each of us can live out the values of the Jubilee in our daily lives by practicing forgiveness, helping those in need, and working to reconcile broken relationships. Think about how a small act of kindness can inspire significant change. Practical actions for society. Amnesty programs. Governments can implement policies to forgive small debts or renegotiate loans, helping individuals and small businesses start anew. Welcome projects. Create initiatives to support refugees, homeless individuals, and marginalized communities by providing temporary housing, food, and psychological support. Accessible education. Promote free education programs or educational subsidies, allowing more people access to quality learning opportunities. Awareness campaigns. Launch campaigns in schools, businesses, and communities to promote forgiveness, social justice, and reconciliation, encouraging dialogue and peace. Practical actions for the Church. Mass volunteer initiatives. Mobilize the faithful to participate in charitable activities, such as cleaning neighborhoods, distributing food, and visiting hospitals. Sustainable projects. Encourage actions related to caring for creation, such as reforestation and environmental education, aligned with the encyclical Laudato Si'. Building community networks. Foster the creation of support networks within parishes to help people in vulnerable situations. Spiritually, the Jubilee offers a profound opportunity for renewal. It will be a time to seek God's mercy, participate in the sacraments, and rediscover the meaning of living as disciples of Christ. Socially, it is a chance to reflect on how we can contribute to a more just and compassionate society aligned with the values of God's kingdom. Prepare for a year of transformation. May 2025 be a time of grace, where faith inspires concrete actions and God's love is felt in every area of our lives. Have you ever considered participating in a pilgrimage during the Jubilee? Let us know in the comments. The year of Jubilee invites us to pause, reflect, and act. It is an opportunity for transformation, personal, spiritual, and social. How about starting today to live the values of the Jubilee in your life? Forgiving, restoring, and acting with justice can transform not only our year, but also the world around us. Leave a comment. What does the Jubilee mean to you? How do you plan to live these values in 2025? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message and subscribe to the channel for more reflections that feed your divine curiosity. See you soon, and may God bless you.